Welcome to the November bonus episode.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to Y Space. Welcome to November ending, pretty much.
Yeah, we're at the end, basically.
How?
I'm telling you what, September took its time, but October and November have just
Yeah,
flown.
I can agree with that. That is weird about September, but yeah, you're right. I feel like it was literally just summer.
Yeah. And then November just started, and we're already, well, today's the 22nd when we're recording, but
And I hate to tell you this, but it is cold as hell here.
it's 80 here. It's 80.
Oh, that's just wrong.
It's not okay in any fashion.
Listen, we're not going to be here over Thanksgiving. Y'all want to come here so you can just
We
experience
might have
the cold?
Really, this morning when we were getting ready, Doug was like, I miss snow.
Well, I walked into Starbucks this morning in shorts and a sweatshirt, and everyone else literally had on their parkas.
Nice.
So I feel like I'm prepared, clearly.
There you go. Listen, we've got to go. We'll be at my mom's church for a couple of Sundays this winter. And I was like, our boys don't even own pants. Like, they don't have jeans. We don't.
Yeah. Oh, scratchy pants? That's
Yeah,
what they
we just got shorts.
That calls them. I have to wear my scratchy pants. Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah. Well, we are here for our bonus episode because you all so graciously still continue to send us questions. I will say if your question has not been answered or you feel like it hasn't, go back and check some other bonus episodes because a couple of you have DM'd me and said, "Hey, are you ever going to answer my question?" And I want to politely respond to you that we have. You didn't catch it. Or someone else asked it, and so we just didn't say your name. But we still are like, what the heck? Why are y'all asking our opinion about anything?
Listen, I love when somebody wants my opinion on anything.
We love it. We just don't understand it. That's yeah.
I always give my opinion, but the fact that someone actually wants it, come on.
Yeah. So my favorite part though about when we do bonus episodes is I pick the questions and I don't surprise. Listen, if I was to surprise Becca with a full episode of bonus questions,
I'd be out.
He would be in the emergency room with me.
Fake internet connection issues, and this would go black.
That might be a fun episode. I'm just throwing it out there. But no, I surprise her when I send her the list. She doesn't know what's coming. And I always kind of wonder, like, when you get the list, what's your reaction?
Usually, like, some buzzwords and questions will stick out to me. And I'm like, Mandy, we've talked about this, and this confuses us every time. Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah. Well, and I'll be honest, because this happened, because we're like in November now, and we're on like episode like 46-ish, somewhere in that range. Sometimes I don't know if we've already answered it or not.
I know, because I'll start looking back at old notes and I'm like, I know I have an answer for this, and I need to make sure I'm consistent.
Well, and I'll be honest, you guys, when you ask us Taylor questions, it's kind of always the same theme. Like, what's your favorite song, or what? Like, we've got one today, so a lot of times the answers are kind of the same, and so I feel like I'm saying the same thing. But I get it. You guys come for football and Taylor, so
as do we.
That's what we come for as well. So today is no different.
That's right.
First one is funny. This is from Kristen. She asked, what are your top 10 icks of pop culture - people, trends, couple shows, events, you name it? First of all, Kristen, I just want to tell you that actually one of my biggest icks is the word ick.
Really?
It drives me nuts. I don't know why. I have no reason for this. But I just wanted you to know
so funny.
It's not in my top 10, but I just wanted you to know that the word bothers me. I don't know why.
Listen, I keep assuming that you're going to do an episode where you're like, let's list our icks. And I have been keeping a note in my phone just in case you surprise me with that and I panic and don't have an answer.
So you're ready. Okay, awesome.
I'm ready.
Normally we kind of go back and forth, but do you want to just do your 10 and then I'll do my 10?
I can. We can do it that way.
Yours. I'm excited.
I did appreciate that Kristen listed out some things that what she meant in pop culture with events and people and things, because you and I have always what constitutes as pop culture?
Yes. In fact, when I answered this, I literally texted Becca, I don't remember. Do we include sports in pop culture? And we do.
Yes.
So.
Yep, we do. Okay. So I didn't really rank mine in a specific order.
No, mine aren't either.
Yeah. So the first thing I put was Nick Lachey making any kind of musical comeback is a big.
I don't know why I decided to take a drink right then. Okay. That's a good one.
It's not okay.
Nope.
I think he learned his lesson when he did that TikTok video, because at least I haven't seen it anymore.
No, he's gone.
So it would be in my house. So, yeah. So
yeah.
I did that. Low-rise jeans apparently are coming back, and I can't. That we know.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's coming back, and it's not acceptable.
High waist only.
Right. You don't have to do it all the way up to under your bra, but like we can't be doing butt crack again, guys. We're past that.
No, because then what are you going to come back with a tramp stamp?
Right? Oh, God.
I'm out.
No. The next thing I did was plaid. And I don't mean like plaid.
Oh, no. Okay.
Maybe know that's from. It's plaid like the 1990s Clueless movie plaid.
Oh, so basically you're really just calling Taylor out right now. Yeah, I was just going to say, you're just calling Taylor out. Okay, go ahead.
If she was going to like a conference where she was presenting and having to be like corporate, her outfits make sense.
Okay.
I can't.
I would just like to note for the audio tree that I am currently not speaking. This is Becca that is saying this when you're looking at our employment applications.
Yes. Love her. Love her. If I was her friend, we would have conversations. Okay. The next one, Bianca Censori, her caption.
Who? Oh, Kanye's wife.
Kanye's whatever she is. We got to go be who you are and own it. But people need to stop taking pictures and making us look at it because it's real bad.
Okay, yeah.
The next one, new language that kids use, like skinny and sigma, ick, apparently.
Riz.
Stop. Yeah. Did we do that when we were young? I remember it was like talk to the hand and that kind of thing, but we never made up words, did we?
Well, I think it depends on where you lived. I mean, if you watched Clueless, they had their own vocabulary, but we didn't live in Beverly Hills, so
no. Maybe these icks are because I'm old. That's
my 8-year-old did introduce himself this week at a funeral as the Rizzler. Okay,
that's the best time to do that.
Perfect, great.
Oh God, the next one, pickle flavored, literally everything now. There's pickle flavored Cheez-Its. There's pickle flavored
sunflower seeds.
Sunflowers. It's weird.
Now, do you like pickles?
I do.
Okay.
I just don't understand why we're putting that flavor on everything.
Now, listen, I got to tell you something though, and this could be groundbreaking information. Don't know. Okay. And you do not need to lose any weight, but if anybody does need to, there is a thing called the pickle juice diet. All you do is take a shot glass worth. There's probably a specific measurement that equals, but if you'll just get you a shot glass,
got it.
Pickle juice, drink it every morning and every night. Guarantee you will lose weight.
What?
Yeah. So my dad used to walk like miles every day. And his weight would pretty much just stay the same. He was not overweight, but he was like, he could handle lose a few. He started doing this. He dropped like 30 pounds.
This is crazy.
Now he did die, but I don't think it was related to the pickle juice. Okay. Just saying.
You guys, I'm so glad we have people that listen to us.
Oh, you weren't ready. Okay, go ahead. Pickle flavored everything, unless you're trying to lose weight.
That's right. Okay. The next pop culture ick I have is anything Harry and Meghan related.
Oh,
yeah. Right?
Them.
Yeah, I can't. Apparently, he's releasing a new documentary about polo. Listen, you are in the wrong audience for polo.
You left the UK? We don't do that here.
We don't know. That's not a thing for us. It is like in the super rich echelon of people, but even they only do it because of status. So
they don't have time to watch a documentary on it. So
no. My next one, I was going to put the Kardashians as a whole, but I do still kind of like Khloe.
I know.
So I did Kim.
Oh.
Like it's too much. I think as a celebrity and as a person, it's fine. Okay. But you oversaturated. So
well, she is coming out in a lot of new things. And how did we go from she got famous selling her clothes on eBay to now she's going to be an actress? What?
Right. And also apparently she just posted a picture. She's in her 7th year of law school. Ma'am, I didn't go to law school, but I don't think that's how it all works.
No. And in the end, I don't even think she's going to be like a real lawyer.
No, I don't think so. And then also she bought like a Tesla robot person.
I did see this.
Listen, November of 2024 is not the time to be maybe pushing your wealth on the American people and wanting them to care.
Are you saying it bothered you that the robot was sitting in her Cybertruck? Is that what you're saying?
It was an odd flex, but I thought
it was odd in general that, like, to me, if I were, and maybe this is a difference in personality, but you come from a very large family and you yourself have a large family that you now claim you're raising by yourself, and you want to add another person to this entity? Yeah. No, thank you. I would like less people, not more.
Yes. And listen, we all know that I get real anxious and worried about the craziest of things. It's why I also don't like to stay in Airbnbs. But if I've got a robot living in my house and I'm famous, like security is a big deal to me, I feel like somebody can hack into that. Right?
When that thing kills somebody, we're all gonna say we told you so.
It's not gonna end well. Yeah. So
okay, that's a good one.
I did that. The other ick I have in pop culture is artists that throw shade at other artists and then come out and say, "Oh, well, that was how you interpret it." Like, just be better humans.
Okay,
let's not.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then my last one is NIL in sports. It's ruining everything.
I didn't know you were going to try to get me heated today.
I know. It's just, and I'll leave it at that because we've talked about it so much, but it just feels like it's ruining. Maybe we just have like a blanket amount. Everybody can only get 5 million. I don't know.
5 million. I mean, the fact that number came to mind. Yeah.
Well, because I saw somebody getting like 10.5 million, and that feels excessive for a college kid.
Oh,
listen, my parents got me $50 a month, and I was living large. I did fine.
Oh, back in the day, they used to drop that in the account. And it's like, oh, let's head to the Sonic. Let's go. Yep.
So it was Taco Bell. Here we come.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me started about Taco Bell again.
I know. Listen, we've aired our grievance with them.
Listen, they haven't reached out yet, but.
Oh, that's surprising. We'll have to tag them in a post.
Maybe I should.
They'll care.
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your
top ones? All right. So Becca dared me to be spicy today. So
dared or encouraged?
I mean, either way, however you want to look at it, it's up to interpretation. So I'm gonna come out swinging.
Okay.
The lures. Now, this will not make sense to a lot of people. You look confused, but you're not going to be here.
Well, because I first thought you were going to say the Lord, and I thought that went spicier than I.
No, we good, God. This again, God, if you're listening, this is Becca again talking, not me. Tree, God, it's all Becca. Okay.
Lord, got it. Go.
LOR.
Got it.
Gaylers, Hetlers, all of the above. Those of you who speculate on other people's sexuality, and just everything about them, just stop. You're stupid and annoying. I am so sick, and I know the show's not about speculation, but I'm a little spicy today.
Okay.
Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. Number one, it is not fake.
Right.
You are stupid if you believe it is. Number two, she does not also love women. You're stupid if you think this. Number three, we have no idea who she's dated, who she's kissed, who she's liked. We don't know. Who are you? You are stupid. Okay?
Yeah.
And the fact that some of you put in your bio on social media that you are one of these lures, like you're a Gayler, you are stupid. Like
they're proud of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just stupid. Y'all just stop. Let people live.
Yikes.
Y'all are stupid. Number two, Billie Eilish.
Yes.
I'm just going to come for you straight for your name. First of all, here's the thing. I don't like when people are like thematic. Is thematic a word?
It is.
Okay, thank you. You're real smart. I don't like when people are thematic for attention.
Agreed.
And I find that she is. Now, hey, we can all wear our own style. If you want your lowriders and your tramp stamp hanging out, if you want your baggy jeans and your skater shoes, do whatever you do.
We just don't like it.
Do you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it for attention and not just being yourself, And don't come at me if you're a Billy fan. I don't know what you people call yourselves. Are y'all like eyelashes or something? I don't know.
I hope so.
Y'all don't come for me and say, "Oh, she's just being who she is." She's not. I don't know that I have ever seen her be genuine in anything.
I think that's one of the things that like we can't get from her, because you get with Taylor like how genuine she is, and you get that from other artists too. But with what you're saying with her being so thematic, it's like I never know truly who you are. And I think a lot of times that draws people to your music when they feel like they can really connect. But if you're just always playing some character, it is odd.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out.
Okay.
So, okay, the walkouts at concerts. So like Drake does this, Morgan Wallen does it. I believe Zach Bryan also does this, where they like when the show is starting, they like have their buddies or famous people walk out with them.
Okay. I didn't know it was, I'd seen Morgan Wallen do it and I thought this is weird. I didn't know it was like a thing.
Well, I don't know if it's a thing outside of those three people doing it, and maybe just those three people annoy me. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just think it's weird. Like, I mean, I guess you do you, make your own intro, but like, I don't get it. I don't guess. Like,
no.
it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway. All right. This one may take a turn. I have made a decision about something that we have been talking about recently.
Okay.
I'm so confident in my decision, it has now made my ick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess.
Brianna chicken fry.
Okay.
I'm making an official decision. Listen.
Okay.
I think it is impressive when anybody makes a career out of nothing. I think it's impressive because I've spent a long time working at something. And so those of you who become famous and rich for doing nothing, props. Like, wish I could have been you. And listen, there's a lot of things that I think she could be controversial about. And there are some things that like I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I do like that about her. But here's where I can't do it anymore.
Okay.
First of all, she's been like best friends with Grace O'Malley for like a long time, right? Grew up together. And then apparently on their show, Grace was telling a story about a sexual assault that happened to her.
Yes.
And Brianna really kind of like made a joke of it. And I know everybody's like, oh, that's just their vibe. That's just what they do. Like, Grace is a comedian. Well, you know what Grace doesn't do in her comedy shows? Yeah. Make jokes about the fact that she was sexually assaulted. So your bestie does it on your show? You need better friends. And it appears you have found them, Grace O'Malley, because y'all are nowhere to be seen together.
Yep.
And this whole thing with Zach Bryan and her breaking up, like, I don't know what she thought she was going to get. Here's the thing, guys. Bring it in for a little huddle here. If you end up dating somebody and y'all cheated to get together, then they're probably going to cheat on you. Allegedly. Yeah. They're probably going to cheat on you. So, okay. I understand that he did her wrong.
Right.
I am not surprised he did, but apparently she is surprised. But like, we're still talking about it. And it escalates. Every time she's out on something now, it escalates to even something more.
Right.
So I'm just over it. And then she was never an anti-Taylor person, but she kind of was. Dave Portnoy is a huge fan. And so she was always kind of like, meh, meh, meh. And now she's like all in because she feels like the music allegedly applies to her now. Is that it, or are you looking for a new niche?
Well, I think it's one of those things. And now this might shock people that listen to us, but Mandy and I don't have a ton of experience with breaking up with people. We just didn't do it a lot. But I feel like the ones that we did break up with, you would talk to your girlfriends and like be mad about it for a couple of weeks, and then you've moved on. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
She just keeps on and keeps on. And I do wonder, obviously, different lives. Is it because she's getting all of this extra attention and views and clicks, and she's like, okay, this is where my money's coming from right now. And so she's leaning into that. On the one hand, I get it. But on the other hand, like, for your own mental health, we gotta move on, sister. Yeah. But you and I have talked several times that like she's leaning so far into this that it doesn't come across genuine. I think had she done that first sit down with Dave where she kind of just aired her grievances and then left it at that and let's move on, I think she would have done great for herself. But like, we've just kept this going. No, I think that's a great ick.
Did he? I just feel like we probably should just say blanket statement. He's an ick. Listen, I know innocent until proven guilty, but I don't know that applies here. So,
right.
I'm just gonna go ick.
Okay.
Okay, this one I don't know is gonna be spicy for some people. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Sounds spicy for me. So,
listen, back in the day, I loved me some Jay-Z music. Does he even put music out anymore?
If he has, I haven't noticed it. We listen to his stuff.
But his stunt last year up at the awards show about how Beyonce's never won album of the year.
It was too much.
It was too much, my guy. It was too Kanye. It's interesting how the Kanye thing and that all revolves around Beyonce. I don't know, guys. I don't know if the Illuminati's real, but something is not right. I get the ick from both.
Yeah.
Problematic NFL players.
Oof.
So I had multiple ones I wanted to list, so I just called it that. But I'm going to go ahead and personally call out Nick Bosa and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? First of all, both of you are kind of getting past your prime. I mean, Aaron is way past his prime.
Right.
But I'm just we're just trying to get attention.
Right.
And I think maybe that's my thing. That must be my theme here. The Lures, Billie Eilish, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these things is people just wanting attention.
Which I think is odd. We be famous and be a celebrity, but it's when it's like a stretch when you're trying to go out more. I just feel like if you're just more genuine and true to who you are, it ends up paying bigger dividends in the end.
I mean, it seems that way, but what do we know? We don't.
Who are we?
Okay, next up, I've got smoking while performing. Listen, I love Post Malone, but it bothers me that he smokes while he performs. Also, Maddie Healy does that. He's a whole thing. But I don't know. It just bothers me because first of all, in the year 2024, we don't smoke indoors.
No. But also your voice is that's your money maker.
Yeah.
It always shocks me when I find out that these singers actually smoke because I'm like, don't you have to protect that? I can protect listen, if I can't sing, I can't make money. I got to get a real job? No.
No. It just bothers me. And I'm not trying to hold you to some standard where you need to be some beacon of whatever that kids look up to. It's not that. It's just it's 2024. Who still smokes?
It's a health thing for us.
Yeah, so I don't like that. Hollywood churches.
Oh.
What was that, the dog?
It was the dog and the cat just met at the bottom of the stairs, and it was not a good greeting.
Yikes. Sounded intense. Speaking of icks. No, I just have yet to find a Hollywood church or celebrity minister that doesn't have cult vibes.
But I think you have to have a cult vibe to lead a Hollywood type church. Otherwise, what draws people in? What gets your name?
Scary. That's icky.
It is scary.
That's it.
Yeah.
I have mentioned this before, but it bears bringing up again because this is my final one. Brat, the whole Brat thing.
Oh, weird.
The reason it bears bringing up again, did you see that this past week it came out that apparently Charlie XCX's team bought $40,000 sales to try to up her numbers to try to get her to number one?
I had not heard that, but
how embarrassing. Your music is that terrible.
Yeah.
And the Brat thing really didn't work out for her or Kamala, so
right. Maybe we move on to something else.
Yeah. Just it never makes sense to me. So those are my 10 icks.
I like it. We had great icks.
I feel like we were icks. All right. Next up from Sally. What are your top 5 entertainment mistakes? Bad albums, bad show endings, bad movie plots, etc.
Okay.
You want to go 1-1 this time, like you do one out of one? All right.
Let's do one. So my first one that I did was J-Lo doing her documentary and trying to do a comeback tour. Mm-hmm. That was clearly a mistake.
That didn't go well.
No. And I want to say it's not her fault. It was her team, but 100% that's on her.
Here's what I wonder about that. Do you think that was really Ben Affleck's idea and that's why they got divorced? Because she got embarrassed? No?
No. I don't think that was his, because he's so private.
Oh.
And I think on the, I saw clips on the documentary where he was like, yeah, I think this is great and she should go for it. You were saying that because you needed peace at home after that was filmed.
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they're divorced because she wanted to do that and he got embarrassed.
See, that's what I guess I always assumed that played a huge part into it.
Yeah.
Because she put their love letters and stuff in there.
I just feel like they went 0 to 90 back to 0 real quick.
Yes.
For there not to have been some big cheating scandal or something.
Yeah. It's one thing to share your relationship with people. And I understand being in a documentary, you have to be a little bit more vulnerable, but you shared everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not okay. So that was one of my entertainment mistakes.
I just put Katy Perry's music.
Okay. That was my next one.
Yeah. And the fact that you came back out with the same music that you put out a decade ago,
it didn't change.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
Did you see the clips of her and John Mayer chatting it up at the Sabrina Carpenter concert?
I did.
With her children sitting there? Or with her child?
Listen, it's weird.
The whole world is weird. I don't even know.
Doesn't make sense. Okay.
What you got for number 2?
My next mistake, I'll skip past Katy Perry since I have that. Beyonce trying to do a country album, Cowboy Carter. Listen, Beyonce can do music and she can do it really well. She has proven that with her other albums, her record sales, the awards that she has won. I think coming out and trying to force yourself into a genre that you didn't need to go to, you were fine. She could have left some of those songs still on her album, but just not push it. So I think that was a mistake because trying to lean so far into that lane, I think that you lost some of your audience. And then it ended up turning into that album was kind of a wash for her.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm interested to see what happens at the Grammys with the album of the year.
yeah,
it does seem like a lot of the publications are picking Torture Poets department. I always want to say Society. I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see what happens with Cowboy Carter and all of that and what kerfluffle Jay-Z causes over that.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to swing way left field. Did you watch Will and Grace?
Yes.
Okay. I had a real problem with how that show ended and the fact that they were not friends for so long and then they became friends again when their kids were in college.
Yeah.
I felt like they missed a real opportunity there.
I agree with that. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Next up.
The one I have is a mistake in entertainment is artists having access to their own socials. Specifically people like Zach Bryan and Britney Spears. Listen, if we are not level-headed or we are not sober, we should not have access to our socials. It just does more harm to your character and your job. So let's not do that.
What do you think the odds are that Zach Bryan has an announcement that he's going to rehab sometime soon?
It would not surprise me if he put an announcement out like that, but I don't think that he will.
Yeah.
He thinks he is great and wonderful. He just told us he's getting his master's degree in Paris. He's not going to rehab.
I guess that's true. He'll probably be drinking more over there. Okay. Private Practice. The fact that in the end, Sam and Naomi got back together.
Yeah, that
was so weird because he was with Addison for a minute, which was a weird storyline too. But we don't go back to where we've been. Right.
Right. Yeah, that's not how we wrap up a show.
No, that felt like, we're trying to be too on the nose.
Right. Yeah. All right. The last one that I have is Argyle, that movie with Bryce Dallas Howard. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, the mistake was that everybody started saying it was Taylor Swift was behind it. She had written
that's what I was like. I do remember hearing this, but I can't think of what it was. Yeah.
And then they leaned so heavy into that, but it was at the very end, right before it was going to go into theaters or stream. I can't remember which one it was. Then they were like, oh yeah, she had nothing to do with this. But you let everybody build it up. And so of course, then everybody still goes to see it because what if she was? And then it was the cheesiest movie ever. You had a great cast. We could have done a lot with the storyline.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that was a mistake on their side.
I totally forgot about that. And that was something I was so consumed with for so long. Wow, that says a lot about me too.
And that was in 2024.
has been the longest
like a lifetime ago.
Life. All right, I have two more since you had the same Katy Perry.
Okay.
This one is kind of a shout out to our husbands a little bit. Endgame, not the song, the movie. Tony Stark dying. Did we have to? No.
I don't think so.
There were plenty of people to kill him. I didn't like it at all.
Plenty of options. Okay, that's a good one.
And then my last one was on How I Met Your Mother. Like, we go through this whole thing, and then in the end, his wife dies, and he ends up with Robin anyway.
No, we don't like that.
What? I feel like they owe me an apology.
Right. You put us through a lot.
To get back to the beginning where we knew we'd end up anyway?
Yes. Yeah.
That's just too much. Okay. From Tammy. What are some shows that either got canceled or ended that you wish were still on or had continued, or maybe even just ended differently? Again, y'all with your 6-part questions.
Right?
All right, what do you have?
So, listen, I didn't watch a lot of shows. I still don't watch a ton of shows, so I didn't have a ton to pull from here. But when I did start watching, I always thought Friends could have run for a few more seasons, just 1 or 2 more seasons. With them being parents. Only, I don't know if it would have done as well with the others, but you still have storyline to go with.
It feels like an Aaron Rodgers move, but okay. Okay.
This is what it is.
This is your opinion, so go ahead.
Okay. And then Big Bang Theory. I wish they would have done 1 more season. Just that's one. You don't have to keep going, but just 1 more season.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a really good one. I didn't think of that. You only had 2?
I only had 2.
Lord, here we go for my list. Okay, first of all, The Ranch. Now listen, I loved this show.
That's a good one.
And I know that things got problematic because Danny Masterson went to jail, but I mean, they killed him off. The show could have kept going. I loved
they did their due diligence with him.
I mean, anyway. Yeah. Did you watch the show Happy Endings?
Yes, I loved that show.
I know, and it was like bam and over.
Yes, it was so good.
Veronica Mars. I really felt like that could have kept going. And I know you love Kristen Bell. So I also feel like if we're gonna repeat all these shows and like redo them all, like that's one that could come back out and be pretty good.
I think so.
I don't know if you watched the show. We were not allowed to, but I snuck it in. And I was shocked when I was doing my research that it was only 1 season because it felt like a lifetime, and yet I still needed more. My So-Called Life with Claire Danes.
I don't think I saw that one.
We weren't supposed to.
Look at you, Rebel.
Yeah, we were definitely not supposed to, but I could have used a lot more. The ending of Gilmore Girls.
Supposed to watch Veggie Tales.
And McGee and Me.
Oh, McGee and Me. That was a good one.
No, and my final one was the ending of Gilmore Girls. It was terrible. And then when they came back out and then that ending was even worse, like
yeah, it didn't help.
Let's wrap it up and put a bow on it, people. Like I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. Oh heavens, I just realized I didn't answer this question. Okay. From Connie, I really enjoyed the recasting questions, but I'd love to hear a show you want to recast and with who. Did I not answer this? Okay, go ahead so I can think.
Oh man, this would panic me if I hadn't answered this before.
Well, I don't feel great right now, just so you know. Okay.
Well, if you don't have an answer, you don't have to. We can just go to the next one after I answer. So I'm gonna recast How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay.
Good show. So I'm recasting Robin as Jennifer Love Hewitt. That feels like an easy switch.
Okay, yeah. They look.
And then Ted would be Paul Rudd.
Right? Oh, that's very on the nose. Okay.
Okay. Then we're gonna do Marshall as Jason Biggs. And Lily is Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, that is not bad at all. That's one of your best recastings.
Thank you. I did Barney as Joel McHale, and I don't love that choice, but I couldn't pick anybody else that I thought would be really great for a Barney.
Neil Patrick Harris was really made for that role.
Right? He was so good for it.
Yeah.
They had said that when I was looking through it, Jim Parsons had tried out for that role, and I was like, he would not have fit that.
That would have been awful.
Yeah. So
I don't like that at all.
No, Neil Patrick Harris was definitely the best Barney. I don't know that you could recast that. part.
No. I always felt like there should have been a spinoff with him.
Yes. You could have had all the storylines.
I mean, I didn't again, these people, I don't know why they don't call us.
Right? We could get you some money, get you some ideas going.
I'll have to come back to this one in a future episode because I can't believe I skipped it. I don't even know because I feel like it's a great question for me. So
yeah,
we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
From Drew, we're going to switch gears to some sports. The NFL is clearly going to have some coaching turnover. It's possible. Where's the best landing spot for Prime and Shedeur? Package deal, of course.
Well, so here's the thing. I have an answer for this, but I truly 100% do not believe that Deion will go to the NFL. He has said it multiple times. I know that, what's his face came out and said, I have on good authority, he'll go. I just don't think so. He has always said he wants to be a mentor for young men that are going out into the world. Like that's his calling. So I don't think that he would, even though there are plenty of spots he could go to. But for this question, let's just say that they are going to go as a package deal. I truly 100% believe they would be the best fit in Dallas. Here's my thing. We know that Jerry Jones runs that thing and everybody like that goes to coach doesn't really get to coach because he runs the show. I do think that Deion would be the one person that could respectfully put Jerry in his place and be like, I got this. This is what you hired me to do. Let me do this. I think it would be really good if they went together and then Shedeur could be backup to Dak. I don't think we pull Dak as our starter because I don't think it's wise to bring these kids from college and then you put them as starters in the NFL trying to lead a group of men that they have no life experience and are ready to do. But I think that if you have somebody that can put Jerry Jones in his place and kind of reset that whole structure, and then you allow Shedeur to really kind of mature into that role, I think that would set them up for the most success.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's such a weird situation because I see your point, and I know that he has said so often that he does, this whole mentor thing. But then I go back to like his whole deal at Jackson State. He was all about the HBCUs, and then when more money came from Colorado, he jumped ship. So
the money talks. I get it.
So I don't know. I just am iffy on that. I think. Listen, is Shedeur talented? Yes. Right. Is he as talented as he thinks? No. Is he as talented as Deion thinks? No. And I think that whoever gets Shedeur is going to have their hands full.
Yes.
And I think they're going to have their hands full either way, if they get Deion with him or without him, because either way, you're going to be dealing with Deion. So it's like, it's kind of is what it is. It's almost like you almost
Deion is like a PR marketing money machine, and that's what Dallas loves.
So, so my gut instinct at first was Dallas, but I am somewhat buying into this rumor about the Giants.
100%.
Because obviously Daniel Jones, as of today, has requested a trade. I would be very interested to see where he lands because my guy doesn't really have a lot of talent.
No.
I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen it if he does.
Do you think he's also one of those yes. Do you think he's one that maybe has talent and he's just in the wrong atmosphere?
Well, I wondered, are we going to have a Sam Darnold thing happen?
Yeah.
But also, I would just like to point out that we hadn't been talking about Sam Darnold since the weeks have gone on. So I don't know. I just don't see it. So I don't know. And I think that, I think the Giants, I think the Mara family is going to be like, okay, we got to make some significant changes. I think personality-wise, Deion and Shedeur fit New York real well.
Yes.
Like, I think Prime, you're the big city, like all of that.
That's true.
And I think the Giants are going to have enough money to, well, here's what I don't understand. We clearly do not understand a thing in the world about contracts, and that's not what we're here for.
It's so much.
Because whatever is going to happen with Daniel Jones is there's going to be a lot of money on the table. And I don't know how that money goes out. Like, if he gets traded, do they acquire the money situation, or the Giants stuck with the dead money? I don't know.
I think it depends on what their negotiations are.
But I have this feeling that the Giants may be able to do some moving, some shaking, some whatever, and get Travis Hunter as well.
Well,
and get all three. So that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Okay.
Whatever organization ends up with Shedeur, though, Godspeed. I don't see it. I don't see him having longevity in the NFL.
Well, and I don't see the locker room buying into him either.
No. And that's why I'm wondering if you need to go to something like the Giants, like let's kind of clean house, go young. You've got Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Get as many young draft picks and like let's just build it from the ground up kind of situation. Right. I don't see him being able to come into any established organization with a lot of veterans.
No, that wouldn't be a good fit for him.
No. From Bill, what current college football coach could do the best in the NFL, and is there a particular team you see him thriving in?
Okay, listen, it tends to not go well for college coaches that try and move to the NFL.
Even your boy.
Yeah.
Even Nick Saban.
Some people are just not suited for that.
Yep.
What I was thinking was more, you could do somebody like a Steve Sarkisian who could come in as like a quarterback coach or an OC. Mm-hmm. I don't think he would do well as a head coach in the NFL though, but I think he could be one of the coaches. Mm-hmm. You could do Dan Lanning, I think would be a great special teams coach, but again, not a great head coach. Yeah. I think the only college coach that could truly step in without missing a beat in the NFL would be Deion Sanders. But yeah, that also probably has a lot to do with his background. It's same with Dan Campbell. Like, you're a player's coach. You know what it looks like. You know what they need to succeed. But Deion has the personality, I think, that could get a hold of their attention, whereas I don't know that any other college coaches really stuck out to me as being able to do that successfully.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about this too, like the different roles of NFL head coaches. Like, some head coaches are just like legit. That's what they do. They're kind of the head coach. They manage kind of all the moving pieces. And then you have some who still call the plays or on offense or defense or, whatever. Right. So I think a lot of that plays into it. I actually was thinking about Steve Sarkisian, though, about him in Dallas. Because to your point, I don't think he's ready for an NFL head coaching gig. But nobody who goes to Dallas is going to truly be a head coach.
Yeah.
And you got the Texas thing. He likes the flashy, the money. Like,
he has a relationship with the Jones family.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was what I picked. I think there's a lot of people that could make really good coordinators, and it's going to be interesting to see their career trajectories if they want to. Like,
yeah,
Lane Kiffin, is he going to want to go be a coordinator, or is he going to want to stay in Oxford? Or, I just think there's a lot of people that are interesting to see, and Steve is a big one, I think, just to see what they're going to do. There were all those rumors that Lincoln Riley was going to leave USC and go to Chicago with Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Still could happen. I don't know. But then there's talk of Cliff Kingsbury as well. So I don't know. But yeah, so I went with Steve going to Dallas.
Okay.
Felt like low-hanging fruit, but I went with it anyway. All right, from Joe. Who are your top 5 MVP NFL candidates currently?
Okay. So for this one, and I know this almost always goes to a quarterback, which I get it. I understand they are, the captain of the whole team. But Saquon Barkley has
my first,
such a strong shot of, man, you went from the Giants not utilizing, you don't get to do anything, to you are a superstar that is sticking out in Philadelphia and doing your thing. So I think that he has a really strong case. I do think you could make an argument for Jared Goff to be in the conversation. You went from, throwing those last 5 interceptions in one of those games, but you're leading one of the best teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Like, you're still doing an incredible job. And 2 of their victories, they've scored more than 50 points on. That's hard.
In the NFL. Yeah.
Like, no matter what team you're playing, that's still a hard thing to do. So I think there's an argument to be made for him. Josh Allen, I always think is going to be in the conversation. I don't know that he's the best of the best, but he's a really solid, almost one of the more consistent quarterbacks that we have. So I think he could be in there. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is always going to be in the conversation. He's not played his best this year, but I think you also have to put into that, look at all of the turnover he's had in players, and they've still been very successful with, what are they at, 9-1 or 10-1?
Yeah.
Like, that's almost impossible for any good quarterback to do. Yeah. And then my last one is, which I feel so bad for him, Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah.
Your team sucks this year, but man, is he having a heck of a year.
Yeah, I really wonder. I wonder what's going to happen in the offseason in Cincinnati because I just don't think you have the talent on that roster and have this season and leave things as status quo. I think Zach Taylor getting fired is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I still think there's going to be some. T. Higgins is as good as gone.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked that he didn't go at the trade deadline. I'm kind of wondering if Jamar Chase is even going to want to leave. And so when I was coming up with my list, Saquon to me is top of the list right now. I thought about Jamar Chase, though, because you look at stats, and as far as wide receivers go, nobody is beating him.
That's true.
But there's a reason we don't give these accolades until the end of the season. Because it's almost like you got to see how it shakes out. Like, do these teams win out?
Yeah.
Like, if Cincinnati turns their season around, then you would consider a Joe.
Right.
If they don't, he's out of the conversation to me.
Yeah. And I was super confused when I was kind of reading a few different articles that Lamar Jackson is so highly thought of still for the MVP. What has he done?
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Now, again, if they somehow went out and go to the Super Bowl, sure. But yeah, today I don't get that at all. I had Josh Allen as well. I also had Derrick Henry.
Yes, I thought I would put him on there too.
And I think it's kind of the deal though that I think Baltimore. I'm gonna tell you honestly, I think this is why Baltimore doesn't win more is because they don't know what to do with two running backs, Lamar and Derrick.
Yes. Yeah.
I know that this always goes to an offensive player, but I actually picked Trey Hendrickson from the defense of Cincinnati. He's had 11 and a half sacks.
Dang.
Which is crazy in the NFL. And then I went Jaden Daniels. Now, I think it totally depends on what ends up happening with the Commanders season. That loss to the Eagles, but I mean, again, that was in Philly. So
true.
But if they continue to do as decent and better than they have been this season, I could see him sneaking up in that conversation. But again, I think it depends on how people went out and if they went out. I didn't put Patrick because I think it's just been a bad season for him.
Not been his best.
And I mean, yeah, I know we've had a lot of turnover, a lot of injuries, all the things, but he just, to me, hasn't seemed as dialed in.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. I mean, hey, I'm happy with him.
Yeah, you're still doing great.
Yeah, I'll take it, but,
Okay.
Right. This is supposed to say from John, not for John. I know we all love the Chiefs, but I've got some questions. If we don't make the Super Bowl, why or who or what would cause it? And I love Big Red, but who would you pick to take the helm when he retires?
Okay. Listen,
loaded question here, John.
Yeah, when I did this question, I didn't see that first question in there.
Oh, okay. Well, it's fine. We both skipped some things in here today.
Listen, we're just doing what we do. Why or what would cause that? Everyone getting hurt, literally losing everybody. But we do. Big Red's got to be close to retirement.
So sweet, though.
Which none of us want to see that. And I think that's a tough team to step into those shoes and fill because, first off, he's such a phenomenal coach. But second off, I feel like the Chiefs are such a special team. So it'd be really hard. But I think that Eric Bieniemy would be the best replacement for him. Because I think that what makes the Chiefs so successful is, number one, their culture and how much they, coach each other up and how appreciative they are of each other. They've always got each other's back. That's a huge thing. And Bieniemy has been a coach for them before. He knows that culture. He did really well. He won Super Bowls with them. But also you have to have a coach that comes in and allows these players to be good at what they're good at. Don't try and stick them in a box because of you're a running back. This is what you have to do. You're a tight end, so you can only do this. You have to have a coach that lets them be them, and that's what makes them so successful. And so I think that Bieniemy would be somebody that could step in and so easily just continue the success that they already have.
Yeah, he was my pick as well. If you're not familiar, he used to be with the Chiefs. He has really great rapport with Patrick and helped lead to a lot of success there. I know some people will probably just throw out Spag's name just because he's obviously like the best defensive coordinator in the NFL.
Incredible.
I don't see him as head coach material anywhere.
No.
I don't see him wanting to be.
I hope not. He's so good at what he does. I hope that he sticks with that.
Yeah. And then for my why as to if we don't make the Super Bowl, I put that we don't seem to have a sense of urgency. And I think Patrick even mentioned this in one of his press conferences recently, even on offense, but defense too. It takes a long time for that really good defense to warm up. And it's weird because then that's like once they do, they're unstoppable. But like, why did it take a minute?
Yeah.
But then even on offense, like I think, I don't know what the stats are, but I want to say almost every game this season we've had to come from behind. We gotta do that. Yeah, like it shouldn't be that way. Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay.
All right, this is the next question. It feels like one we've answered in 100 different ways, but from Claire, create a set list for the next TS tour that I'm already saving for. Yeah, same. Let's not do another 3.5 hour show. Let's say 10 songs. And of course, who knows what new music we will have by then, but what we know today.
Okay. So for this one, I think we should do one that she does more like vault type things that we don't typically hear in her concerts. So I did save 3 spots for vault tracks off of Rep TV if we ever get it.
Oh, just like unknown songs?
Yeah, just unknown.
Okay.
3.
Got it.
And then I also saved a spot for whatever song she's doing with Faith Hill on her debut album.
Listen, that is obvious, and that is pretty exciting.
We know it's coming. But then I did, now that we don't talk, Say Don't Go, but Daddy, I Love Him. That's one of our favorites.
Gotta have it.
You're Losing Me. The manuscript, I think, would be really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm Gonna Get You Back is one of my favorites as well.
Got it. I went with an acoustic tour.
That doesn't surprise me for you.
Because, I love a good surprise song.
You do.
But I went with some songs that are not like typical for that. I know you'll be shocked to know that I picked Clean.
Oh, shocking.
That is very surprising.
We should open the show with that.
We could just have 10 of those. It's fine. 10 different versions.
Good.
Good. Call It What You Want.
Oh, that's a good one.
Daddy, I Love Him. Hold on, my finger hurt and I clicked off. False God.
Oh.
Daylight. Gorgeous.
Okay. There you go.
Holy Ground. Daylight. Why did I put that twice?
I don't know. Again,
that is not what I meant to put there. That's amazing. That's really funny. Getaway Car. Because I actually really like the acoustic version that she does with Jack. I think it's really fun. Long Live. Of course, I have to cry.
Yes.
And then I did Cruel Summer because we've not gotten to hear it acoustic.
Oh.
And so I think it'd be cool to hear it that way.
Listen, she could literally sing anything at a concert and we'd all make a big deal about it.
Mary and I'd be in. So
yeah. Okay.
All right. So this next one, last one from Danielle. Let's dream together. Made me laugh. Honestly, it's why I picked this question. Everyone knows Taylor has her deal with Searchlight, and I'm assuming that's what she'll be busy with once the Eras is over. And then in parentheses, she put cue the tears. Not to speculate, but what do you think her movie is about that she's written? Or, she put a lot of R's, what do you want it to be about? And will she cast her celeb friends? 15 parts.
Right. Obviously, she's going to cast some of her celeb friends. I don't think it would be a film that would be like chock full of them, but I think we're going to see a lot of her, some of her friends will star in it, but I think we'll see a lot of her friends that might be executive producers or something in that realm. I think it's going to be more of a thriller type film. I don't think she'll go on the nose and do some kind of like love story, that kind of thing. I think it's going to be one that is a little bit more cerebral that you have to kind of think through. Is kind of the lane I think she would go into.
Okay. I like that. I didn't even never crossed my mind, but I like that.
Yeah.
I have 2 answers. One is very low hanging fruit that she would do the Last Great American Dynasty and it would be Blake and Ryan. I don't even see that, but I would still love it. I actually think it could be this whole thing that she's trademarked, Female Rage, the musical.
Yes.
But not a musical. I mean, I think it would have musical numbers, but I mean, not a Broadway show, I guess.
Okay.
But it would be a movie about a Broadway star going through all the emotions of TTPD.
Oh.
So kind of like tortured, like all this stuff. And yes, I could see her casting some of her friends, but maybe not the friends you're thinking of.
Oh.
I do think that Blake will be like a part of the directing crew. Yeah. Some ideas I had for our lead person. Emma Stone. We know she can sing because she did La La Land.
Yes.
Maybe Selena Gomez. Yeah. Now here's one you're not ready for and you're not going to like. She just starred in Cabaret, though, in London. Cara Delevingne.
No.
She could play tortured so well.
She could definitely play tortured so well.
You hate it, don't you?
I just don't like her. Listen, I feel like she's already tortured. We don't need to put her in a role where she's got to mentally get to that space, too. I just will set her up for failure across the board.
God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so anxious to see what becomes of Taylor in 2025 post Eras Tour. I, like everyone, can't wait to figure out what the movie's about too. The things that she's trademarking, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things.
Listen, after the Eras Tour, it's not like she's done. I think she's got so many creative ideas up her sleeve. We're still going to get a lot from her.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And I can't wait. I'm here for it all. All right. Well, that's all we've got. Anything else you would like to leave parting with the guest?
Listen, we are just so thankful that you guys send us questions and you want us to answer anything because it's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, it is. And next time I won't even skip any of the questions when I do my
research. We'll fully read what you've actually put.
It's fine. Even though I put the questions in the document, it's fine. It's fine.
Listen,
all right. Well, thanks for listening.
Bye, y'all.